Sports Talk. Let's go. Happy Monday, everyone. It's me, your boy, Ryan Flowers, a.k.a. Clutch Sports Talk in the house. Happy New Year to you guys. It's the first episode of 2022. I'm your host, Ryan Flowers, man. We got a lot to break down today. I got to talk about Dallas Cowboys, of course, man. Falling star out there in Dallas, Texas. I'll give you my thoughts on what's going on with the Cowboys and what should we expect. Probably not a surprise. Also, Antonio Brown. Listen, I'm probably going to sound insensitive tonight, but listen, I got to keep it real with you guys. So I'll give you my thoughts on what I think should happen with Antonio Brown. Also, a little buy or sell NFL style, what teams and players you should be buying stock in, and some teams and players you should be selling your stock on. And also, did we expect anything different with the college football playoff? I know I didn't. Two best teams are going to be in the championship next week, Monday. So we'll discuss that. And finally, the clutch are not so much for the beginning of the year. So you don't want to miss out. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. This is Clutch Sports Talk Live with me, Ryan Flowers. Let's go. What's up, everyone? Hope you guys are doing well. Happy New Year again. Wow, today was tough for me because it's my first day back to my real job. And you know how that goes, man. You take time off during the holidays, and it's a struggle that first day back when you go back to the office, or like for me, I work from home, still struggling today. But I hope you guys are doing well. I'm going to get you guys through the next half an hour to 40 minutes with everything up to date with sports around the world, around the country. But particularly, we're going to spend a lot of time, as usual, because football is king in this country. We're going to talk a lot about the NFL. Like I said at the top of the show, we're going to talk about Dallas Cowboys, that pitiful performance from the offense. Again, Dak Prescott, Kellen Moore, the whole offense in general. They need to do something. Antonio Brown basically up and quit. You know, you got a lot of people out there with some conspiracy theories out there. I'm not really here for that. Also, we got buy or sell NFL style, and also the college football playoff. Again, did we expect any different, any result? Alabama was supposed to beat Cincinnati, and Georgia was supposed to beat Michigan. And not only did they beat those teams, they destroyed them physically. So first things first, man. Shout out to my boy Barry Grant Jr. I don't know if you guys see the new logo right there in the bottom left corner, bottom right. I don't know how you guys are seeing it on your end, man. Shout out to him. He helped me out, got this made for me, man. Appreciate him, and whoever helped him. Appreciate you guys for that as well. So new year, new logo. Hopefully, I think it looks like me. Let me know in the comment section below if it looks like me. And again, if you're watching right now, man, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button on YouTube, man. I really appreciate trying to grow this. I'm trying to grow this year. This is the goal this year for 2022. We're going to keep it moving and grooving as we normally do. Anyway, so, all right. Let's start here. Dallas, Texas, Arlington, Texas. Cowboys fall to the Cardinals 25-22. Again, some more inconsistency from a team that's inconsistent all year this year. They could not manage to really get anything going offensively. Mind you, Arizona was missing two of their top cornerbacks, an edge rusher in J.J. Watt. Budda Baker is legit. Chandler Jones is legit, but still, we couldn't run the ball effectively, or the Cowboys couldn't run the ball effectively. Dak just did not get it going. The play calling to me was a little suspect. Again, I'm not understanding how you go, and I get it. Defenses are a little different from week to week. The beat down they put on the Washington football team, okay, got everyone up in spirits, obviously. And then you come out and you lay an egg like this against a team really that was reeling at this point. And you're coming off a great Sunday night win. The offense was clicking. You get Amari Cooper only had 3 catches yesterday for about 18, 20 yards, 1 touchdown late in the game. CeeDee Lamb as well, too. I just don't understand it. Greg Zuerlein, again, is the difference in sometimes why we win and lose games. Now, it's not all on him, but he does miss a lot of field goals. I was looking up a stat this morning. In 3 of the games that they've lost this year, they lost by a combined total of 8 points. And Greg Zuerlein has missed field goals that total out to 14 points. So there's the difference right there as well. It's a team effort. Again, the Cowboys are solely. Let's just be real. The strength of this team is the defense. This is the strength of the team. Unfortunately, it should have been the offense because you paid Dak Prescott a lot of money. You got a lot of money out on the field with Ezekiel Elliott, your offensive lineman, yada, yada, yada. You paid Amari Cooper some money. CeeDee Lamb is going to be up for the bag next. Michael Gallup was going to request a lot of money. Unfortunately, what happened to him yesterday, he ended up tearing his MCL. Shout out to him, man. That if you watch that replay, you can see it when the leg just pops, and he still had the presence of mind to make that catch, and not only make the catch, score a touchdown. So that kind of shows the mentality of the type of player he is, man. So rest up, man. Speedy recovery to Michael Gallup. But listen, it's real simple, man. The weakness of this team is offense. And honestly, and I say that, and it's like, well, they're still ranked overall. It's like, but who cares? I didn't see that last night. I haven't seen that against teams that they need to do that against. Against solid defenses, they have not been able to do so well. And it shows. And it starts with Dak Prescott and then also Kellen Moore. Dak Prescott, to me, and trust me, man, people that know me, they know that I am a loyal Dak Prescott fan. I defended his money. I'm saying, he's going to change this thing around, but I'm at the point to where he is what he is. He's a good quarterback. I don't think he's even a top 10 quarterback at this point. He's a solid quarterback if you give him the right pieces behind him. Obviously, he needs to have 100 yards or more rushing in their offense for him to really be effective, because he's just not getting it done, man. He's holding on to the ball. His decision making is still pretty sketchy. He's throwing high a lot of the times, and I'm just keeping it real. And I'm not. This is not a knee jerk reaction, because this is what the Cowboys have done. They have, to their fan base, look, we were all up in joy. We were celebrating last week. Oh, we destroyed the Washington football team. We should take care of the Cardinals. And well, guess what happens? We only got 3 points, right? Is it? I forgot 3 or 10 points in the first half. And the defense is keeping you in this game. Even late into the game, the defense was still keeping them in the game. You think back to the first drive where Diggs gets burnt, obviously, by A.J. Green. They get the ball to the 3-yard line. The defense holds, forces them to a field goal, right? Late in the game, Dak fumbles the ball. They get the ball on the Cowboys' territory, hold them to a field goal. The defense is doing all they can. Dak, Kellen Moore, you guys have to do better. And I don't want to hear this stuff in the press conference. Oh, we're improving. Look, it's week 17, guys. The playoffs are right around the corner. You keep playing like this, and they probably will. They're going to get bounced in the first round. And trust me, you do not want to. Honestly, I'm afraid right now as a Dallas Cowboy fan. I'm afraid to play anybody at this point, because I know the offense is not going to hold up their part of the bargain. They're just not. Zeke, looked great against Washington. Yesterday, he couldn't even do anything. Had no pop, had no quick burst. Tony Pollard couldn't get off Tyron Smith. Again, I love Tyron, Hall of Fame left tackle, but how does he make the Pro Bowl? He missed the last 3 weeks of the season just now. And then, holding another penalties here, untimely penalties, big yards, 25-yard gain. Oh, holding on who? Oh, Connor Williams. Oh, Tyron Smith, or somebody, La'el Collins. Somebody's always holding. And this is an issue with the Dallas Cowboys that is, honestly, they are what they are. They're not going to be able to change who they are. The only thing they can do is Kellen Moore gets out-coached by experienced defensive coordinators. And yesterday, he's going up against a well-experienced defensive coordinator in Vance Joseph, who knows what he's doing. Kellen Moore, to me, I don't understand. I don't want to overreact all the way, but I feel like, dude, there are no adjustments made. And all of a sudden, towards the end of the game, oh, you get Cooper involved. Oh, you get CeeDee Lamb involved, and the game changes like that. They're able to score touchdowns. Why can't we do that from the start? Why can't we go up tempo a lot faster? Why can't we switch it up? Why can't we we got to sometimes force feed the ball to Cooper at least 3 or 4 times in the first 2 series. Get him going, because if not, he loses interest. How do we not get CeeDee Lamb the ball? I don't understand these. I don't understand these concepts. Every week we say, oh, they got weapons all over the field, but why aren't we getting them the ball? Why are the Cowboys not getting the ball to these playmakers? You see what CeeDee Lamb can do when he gets the ball after catch. We know Amari Cooper can, and granted, the Cardinals played a lot of zone yesterday, and that should even be easier. Then you call plays that can beat zone. Now, I didn't expect them to hang 56 on the Cardinals yesterday. No, that doesn't happen. That's college football. That happens to you if you're Michigan or Cincinnati when you're playing Alabama or Georgia. Yeah, that's a shot to them. But to just I mean, listen, they were going in late into the third quarter. They had no first downs. They only had 1 yard of total offense pretty much for the whole third quarter. That's unacceptable. Unacceptable. Very unacceptable. I mean, I've said it 3 times. You cannot do that and be considered a Super Bowl contending team. Now I get it. This year has been up and down. Teams win, teams lose. But honestly, it's been the same story for the Cowboys for quite some time, man. Like the defense has been opportunistic. They're a bend, don't type of break type of defense. And here, so the offense they need to put up 20 points at least. Give us a chance. Because Dak is not going to come back like that all the time. And he got it going late, but it was a little too late. And we end up losing 25-22. And you look at the stats between Kyler Murray and Dak Prescott, they have comparable stats in that game yesterday. But the big difference was Kyler Murray made plays when he needed to make especially with his legs on third down. And honestly, the Cowboys are not, when it's 3rd and 7, anything above 3rd and 5, the Cowboys are not a good converting team on 3rd and 5 or more. Less than 5 yards are pretty good, right? Because they can still hand the ball off. They're really good at that, but they are not getting the ball down the field. They are not getting the ball down the field. And I don't know, it's because they don't trust Dak Prescott, or is it play calling? Is the offensive line not holding up? But this is a serious issue for the Dallas Cowboys moving forward. It's a very serious issue. And I don't know what they're going to do, because at the end of the day, when you get to playoffs, you're going to be playing really good teams. And you might see the Cardinals again. And if they lose on Saturday, because they've been flexed the Saturday game, I believe at 8 o'clock on Saturday against the Eagles are in the playoffs. The Cowboys can maybe still try to lock up that number 2 seed, but you don't want to play Arizona. You don't want to play any of these teams at this point. So, Dak to me, man, he really is disappointing me because I defended him in the money. And look, the money thing, you can go back and forth. Obviously, he's being paid as a great quarterback. He's a good quarterback. I understand that. He's a good quarterback, not a great quarterback. And I understand too, that was the market. He set the market. And I always say, Kyler Murray's going to get way more than Dak Prescott. All these guys. Hell, Joe Burrow might get more money if he continues. What's the guy? Justin Herbert. There's a lot of guys in the pipeline right now. They're going to get way more money than Dak Prescott. But the only difference is that they might actually deserve it because they're playing on an elite level. Dak will give you a great game, and then he'll give you a stinker game, or a game in which it's like, this is your game to take over. Like I said, Kyler and Dak's stat line, they're pretty similar yesterday. But the difference was Kyler Murray was able to make plays when his team needed them. And look, Kyler wasn't trying to run around the field trying to get but third down, things break down. Guess what? Dak, get out of the pocket a little bit, man. I'm not expecting you to go and run like Lamar Jackson or even Kyler Murray, but make things happen from outside the pocket, man. You're hanging around in there. And then when you do run the ball, you fumble it. It's like, come on, man. So, right now at this point, man, I can see the Cowboys getting bounced out in the first round again. And I'm being a real Cowboys fan. And I'm not trying to be a knee-jerk reaction, but from their body of work so far this year, this is what I see. This is who they are. They're inconsistent, and you can't trust the offense. And you damn sure can't trust Greg Zuerlein to make anything beyond 45 yards. Or excuse me, anything within 45 yards, because he'll shank them. So, and again, that's the difference again. We lose by 3 again. Why? Greg Zuerlein. It's not all his fault, like I said, but, football is about winning games, in football is all about complementary football. Your offense is clicking, your defense is clicking, your special teams is clicking. And every now and then your defense may have to help your offense, and vice versa. Your offense may have to help the defense. And sometimes special teams will help you win games. But the defense has been coming up time and time and time again. And Dak Prescott, what have you guys been doing? Offensive line, we got to do better. We got to start blocking guys. We got to start creating paths for these running backs to get through, especially for the likes of Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott. So, Cowboys fans, listen, man, it's a tough pill to swallow, but this team is not a Super Bowl contending team. Because why? The offense cannot get it together. They cannot string it together. And even to this day, they're ranked, they're 6th in passing or 3rd overall rushing. Well, when that stat only matters to me when it comes playoff time. That's when it matters. Can you do that then? And yesterday was a prime example of This was their time to show that, listen, we're here. We're here, and this is what we're going to do. So I don't know, man. It just is what it is. So I'm not going to spend too much more time on it, but this one I have low expectations for the Cowboys in the playoff. They'll make it, but I can see them easily getting bounced out in the first round, and it'll be because of the offense for sure. And we'll have to see what happens with that. So, but like I said, it's not all Dak's fault. It's not all the receivers. It's a combination of a lot of things. So coaching and players executing the plays, it plays a big part into that. So, all right, spend enough time talking about the Cowboys. Let's move over to the situation that happened yesterday, third quarter, with Antonio Brown in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So he's officially been released of his duties as a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. So apparently the reports are saying that he had an ankle injury and he did not feel that he was good to go. From what I understand, Bruce Arians asked him to go back in, didn't go back in, went back to him again. He said no. He said, get out of here. And I guess literally Antonio Brown said, all right, I'm out of here. And he took off his jersey, took off his equipment, gloves. People were talking to him. I know Tom Brady came over and spoke with him, Mike Evans, OJ Howard. I think some of the coaching staff maybe tried to talk to him, but he was like, I'm good. He didn't want no parts of it. And he vacated the premise, took an Uber, left the stadium, and did whatever he needed to do to get home. So Bruce Arians is, after the game, officially said he's no longer a Buck. He's not talking about him anymore. He's only going to talk about the guys that are still with Tampa. So, all right. Now here comes the insensitive part. And I'm just going to keep it real. And, you can say what you want to say, but listen, when do we stop making excuses for people? When do we hold people accountable? Now, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a psychiatrist. I have no expertise in mental health from a formal standpoint, from an official standpoint. But I do know a couple things about mental health because at one point in my life, I did struggle with some mental health issues in regards to my time in the service, seeing some things overseas during combat when I served as a medic, with the Marine Corps. So I understand what it's like to go through certain things in life. And I think we all can agree that we all have our different things that we have to deal with. Okay. But in regards to Antonio Brown, all I see is, we got to keep him in our prayers, and it's CTE. And then just recently, before I started the show tonight, it's a conspiracy because they knew he was hurt and they asked him to play and blah, blah, blah. If a guy tears his MCL and still catches the ball and scores a touchdown. Now, I don't know the extent of his ankle injury, but he looked pretty good to me when he was leaving the field, jogging off and hopping up and getting the crowd going. But again, I don't want to sound stuff. I don't want to sound like a jerk, but at some point, when you look at Antonio Brown's track record, dating back to Pittsburgh, the way he left Pittsburgh, the stuff that he said about certain guys and the coaching, the organization, goes to the Raiders. You saw how he asked for his release on social media. He goes down to Florida, has some type of cryotherapy stuff done on his feet, jacks his feet up. So he never participates really in their training camp. I don't even think he's suited up officially, even in a preseason game. Then asked for his release from the Raiders. Then has an altercation with a woman somewhere in Florida again, with battery, allegedly, right? Goes to the Patriots. They let him know, like, listen, man, like you gotta walk the straight and narrow here. Doesn't do that. Plays one game, he's done. Out of football. Tom Brady vouches for this guy. Tom Brady let him stay in his house with his family because Tom Brady knows this guy is an asset. And don't get it twisted. Tom Brady knows this guy is good and he's going to help them win football games. Okay. I don't know their real exact relationship. I'm pretty sure Tom cares about the guy. I mean, you just don't let anyone come stay in your house. Obviously, he's a millionaire. He could have been like, hey, man, come down here. I'll try to get you on the team, but you got to stay somewhere else. We let him stay in his house. Right. So this is not something new. Right. Then obviously what happened yesterday, but all over social media. And I might sound like an ass here, but oh my God, keep him. I mean, look, The guy, well, help, let me bring it back. Have we ever just considered that this guy is just a jerk and he's a douche? That's part of his character. And oh, CTE. I mean, I guess, but there's a lot of NFL players that have had CTE and they're not acting this way, man. Maybe he's just, this is how this guy really is. So I don't want to sound mean, but all this prayers up for him. There's real people out there struggling, and this guy is acting like a buffoon. So I won't condone his actions. I'm not going to say, "Oh my God, I'm going to pray for him." I'm not going to do that because you know what? He needs to be held accountable first. You have to help yourself before others can help you. And Antonio, like I said, this has been going on for years now, and you have not received help. Okay, so he knows. There's a report out there. James Harrison had him over his house a couple years ago, and James Harrison called him out on it, and he stormed out. So this guy doesn't care, man. So don't waste your thoughts and your prayers on this guy because he doesn't care. He won't need it. And you know the funny thing is that he may even get another chance in the NFL if he cleans up his act, maybe for 15 minutes. Because at the end of the day, this is what this is what society is all built upon. If you can provide or do something that's positive for somebody else, they're willing to overlook a lot of things. You know, the Raiders did it. Obviously, Tampa Bay did it. Bruce Arians knew what this guy was like in Pittsburgh because he coached him there or was part of the coaching staff there. But Tom Brady vouched for him. So I don't want to hear this conspiracy theory stuff about this guy. Oh, you know, he's a black man and they're forcing him. Look, dude, you're in the NFL. This dude's playing hurt every week. Now, if it was a different guy that didn't have a track record, then I can maybe say, you know what, I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt, of course, because we all do that. But this guy definitely has mixed feelings. We got my first comment here from Bryson Carver. He said, I got mixed feelings. I think he's a bad guy, clearly about the same issue. Something is wrong with him and he needs help. Just praying that he gets it because this behavior isn't, you know, I mean, I feel you, Bryson, but I don't know, man. I respect your opinion, you know what I mean? But I just don't see the outpour for this guy. I really don't care for the guy because he is a bad dude. He is a bad dude. And this is part of it. Now, it's one thing to say, you know what? I pray for him, but you know what? He does have some character issues. Let's just acknowledge that. But some people are not even acknowledging that. They're just they're overlook. They're blaming everybody else around him instead of looking in the man in the mirror. And the man in the mirror is Antonio Brown. It starts with him first, and the people that allow him to get away with this stuff. So, you know, I'm not for that. I know people might think I'm a mean guy. I'm really not a mean guy. I'm a very nice guy. I'm a very caring guy. I'm a very loving person. But stuff like this, I have little tolerance for, because again, you've been given chance after chance after chance after chance, and still people do not hold this guy accountable. And eventually, he might get another gig. Some lowly, desperate team might say, you know what, we can change him, and you can't. So until he gets help for himself, I have nothing to say nice about the guy. So. And like again, the conspiracy theory things that are going out there now, like, you know, they you know, they're like, oh, you know, he's hurt, they're forcing him to play. They wanted to get rid of him. Yeah, they wanted to, but they couldn't. Why? Because Chris Godwin's down. Mike Evans might get hurt again. They need another wide receiver. It's a business. I understand that portion. So let's be real about that. You think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers really care about him like that? No. He's a piece of meat, just like all these other guys in the National Football League or any professional sports. But you get paid to do a job, and this is what the business is. No one cares about you unless it affects their bottom line, and that's anywhere in life. Now, you might have genuine teams, but it is what it is. So, I mean, like I said, people can think I'm mean. People can think I'm insensitive. I'm just being honest. I'm being truthful. I'm just not here for that, because of his track record. Now, if it was like a Larry Fitzgerald, a guy who's have a clean slate, a clean record, okay, so be it. I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt, because what happens? He does get signed to a team again, and he does it all over again. Oh, let's pray for him some more. Man, get out of here with that. Get out of here with that. You know, so obviously this got me real fired up because I think society overall right now, we're just a little bit too sensitive, and we're not willing to call people out on their stuff, like real stuff, right? People want to call out all these other things in life, but stuff like this they don't. So hopefully maybe he gets the help. I don't know, man. It's been a while now. It's an ongoing saga, and he doesn't even seem that remorseful anyway. It's one thing if he was remorseful about his situations. I don't know if you guys remember that he recorded when they reported he got released from the Raiders. Like, just watching that video made me cringe at how he was like, I'm free, grandmama, they freed me. From what? They wanted to pay you millions of dollars to go catch a football, bro. And you couldn't even do that. And I'm not saying the Raiders are not, they're innocent. None of these teams are innocent. It's the other hand, wash the other hand. That's what the situation is, right? And Bruce Arians knew what he was getting into, but Tom Brady, he's like, I gotta listen to Tom Brady. Tom Brady vouching for him. I'm gonna give it a chance. So I don't know, man. That's it for me with that. I just don't think that this outpour for, oh my God, we gotta save him. Nah, man. Like my boy J. Cole said, don't save her. She don't want to be saved. Okay. And that's Antonio Brown, right? So don't save him. He don't want to be saved. I only save the people that want to save themselves first and foremost, unless you have a real problem. So, because let's be real, mental health is a big topic of issue in today's society, but it's thrown out so loosely now. Like, I could be like, you know what, man, I just had some coffee today and I just freaked out because they didn't give me extra caramel and it made me feel a certain way. Pray for me. I have mental issues. No, that's not a mental issue. That's just me being a punk and being like, you know what? I just need to accept the fact that they didn't give me extra caramel, period, and move on. But that's where we're at in society. Maybe I'm old school, and I understand mental health is serious, and I'm not denying that. I think it is a very serious topic, and it should be treated a certain way. But when you start throwing things out so loosely around the world, it loses its meaning. It devalues it. Because growing up, let's be real. I'm 37, going to be 38 this month, right? Growing up, man, like we weren't about that. If you had a problem, you kept it to yourself for the most part. And if you talked about it, you talked about it close amongst other people, but it was never really considered, oh my God, it's a mental health issue. Sometimes it's not always a mental health issue. Sometimes it's just, you got to suck it up and pull through sometimes. So I think that's where it gets distorted. I think there used to be a line. Now it's all gray. It used to be black and white, but it's super gray. And with this guy, it's not all mental health, man. He has a bad character. He has a character flaw. So that's it. I spent like 20 minutes on this guy. We're going to keep it moving. So let's see. We got a comment here. Oh, we've got a couple comments I got to catch up. Bryson says, his defenders are crazy, but he does have character issues. Like I said, I'm praying for him, but I respect your opinion as well. Yeah. And I respect anyone that does want to pray for the guy. I'm not saying don't pray for him if you don't want. I mean, that's fine. But I'm not going to be leading the chant for that until he wants to come out and publicly say, you know what, guys, I've been messing up. I do need help. Then that's when the healing and the prayers can begin when it comes to me, right? And who cares about me, right? He doesn't even know me from a stick, all right? Barry Grant, he says, bro, it's hilarious. Appreciate it, man. I appreciate it for the logo. Got some laughing from Bryson again. And then finally we got, it's way easier to feel bad for somebody like Josh. Exactly. You know what? Because Josh Gordon actually has a real addiction, even if it's just to the ganja. Like, I don't smoke, right? Obviously. And if I know family, friends that do, more power to you. And to them, when you hear people are addicted to weed, to them, they're like, weed? Like, that's like getting a cup of water for me. Some people, man, it's hard for them to put down the weed. It is hard, but it's some type of drug addiction, right? Okay. What is Antonio Brown addicted to? Maybe narcissism, but is that a mental health issue? No, that's a you issue. So a very valid point there, Bryson. Put that comment up right there. He said, it's way easier to feel bad for somebody like a Josh Gordon than AB because at least he's been remorseful and he's battling true demons. Yes, exactly. True demons. True demons. So, all right, appreciate the comments there, guys. Let's move on, man. Buy or sell, NFL style, man. Listen, Lot to take in from this past weekend. We're wrapping up the NFL season next week. I can't believe it went by so fast. Before you know, I remember just doing my NFL Sunday morning show for week one, and I was like, dang, it's gonna last forever. That's how it always feels that it's coming to an end. All right, but so let's get the first clip up here, or not clip, but the first thing up here. Buy or sell NFL style. We got Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. I am buying stock in this team. Why? Simply, it's Aaron Rodgers. He will make any offense look good at this point in time. I don't care about their defensive struggles. I really don't. Yeah, Barry, you missed the Dak slander, man. You missed it. You missed it. So you're gonna have to go back and watch it. And I went in on him. I hold on. I want you to see my eyes. I want you to see how serious I am. Listen, Barry. Listen, Barry Grant. I went in on him. I won the pump. I went on Dak. He knows. He knows he's messing up. He knows what he's got to do. All right. Yeah. So anyway, as I was saying, I'm buying stock in Aaron Rodgers. I don't care about the defense. They should get a little bit healthier. If you have Aaron Rodgers, he's keeping you in any game. Even the game that they lost last year to Tampa Bay, it was questionable play calling in the end, questionable decision making. They easily could have won that game and been in the Super Bowl and maybe win against the Kansas City Chiefs. Who knows? But all roads will be going through Lambeau Field to get to the Super Bowl again. And honestly, this team is set up for that. So I'm buying stock in Aaron Rodgers. Again, if this is his farewell tour in Green Bay, which honestly, I'm starting to think maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. Maybe he might reconsider and say, you know what? It is what it is. I'm looking at the landscape of things. I'm still better here. Why would I go to Denver? Why would I go anywhere else when I can stay here, still have Devontae Adams, still have Aaron Jones, good offensive line, whatever. We'll see. We'll see what happens. So I'm definitely buying stock. And you know what? And you're right, Barry. He's gonna probably be back-to-back MVPs. I mean, in fact, he will be. Brady was doing something there, and then he fell off a little bit, especially with his receiving core being injured. But now it's Aaron Rodgers to lose, and I think he's gonna get it. Jonathan Taylor, nice story, but he's not a quarterback. In awards like this, go to quarterbacks. They should just call it the quarterback award, because running backs are not going to get this. It's very rare that they do. So, all right, keeping it moving. Another team, a team that I'm selling on, the Dallas Cowboys. I have to. Listen, folks, I am a Cowboys fan through and through. I lived in Texas. I used to work for them a little bit for quite some time. My kid is named after Dallas. Come on, man. Like, I love the Cowboys, but I'm not a fanboy. The Dallas Cowboys, you have to sell their stock. Why? The offense is terrible right now. They're very inconsistent. Defense is carrying this team. The defense is the best aspect on this team. And Dak Prescott not getting it done. Kellen Moore, please go take the job in Jacksonville, which would be a terrible mistake by the Jacksonville Jaguars. But hey, take him off our hands. We need some new, but the guy is too inexperienced. And when he goes against experienced defensive coordinators, they have his number. They're able to slow us down. So Dak, Cowboys, I'm selling stock on them. And Greg Zuerlein too. Get him out of there. Get him out of there. You can't even make extra points. I'm literally watching the game. We'll get a touchdown. I'll be like, you know what? There's a good chance this guy will miss an extra point. And he does. So I'm selling stock on them. Not much more to be said about that. They know what they need to get done. And I foresee this team losing in the first round of the playoffs. And if they win, so be it. But I'm ride or die. I'm going to get on there. But I'm going to keep it real, man. It's like the Dallas Cowboys, to me, my relationship with them is like almost like being in a bad relationship with a woman or man, or whatever your preference is. This man or woman is no good. Low down, dirty. Do you wrong all the time. Hurt your feelings, get your hopes up, and just snatches it from you. But still, you love them. You're willing to do anything for them. You see their faults, but you look past them. And that's my relationship with the Dallas Cowboys. And I'm 37. I've loved the Cowboys since maybe the mid-90s. So 93, 94, 95. That's a long relationship. That's a long, terrible relationship to be in. I could have moved on. I could have had bigger fish to go and catch, but I didn't. I stayed. So at this point, I'm too invested. I can't. My whole room is my little studio that I recorded is cowboyed out. I'm not gonna go invest money on all these other teams. So, but I still have to sell stock on them today. All right, moving on. Buy some stock in Joe Burrow and Ja'Marr Chase, man. This is a young duo. They're gonna be successful, barring no health issues. They're going to be stupendous. We see. Bryson says Dak will have to drag this above average roster again. He wasn't great, but he was the least of my concerns yesterday. He did, and then he didn't. He put them in position, then he lost the position too. And that's the problem with that. And he also says Micah Parsons is the only playmaker defensively. Trayvon is a home run hitter, all or nothing, and Mike McCarthy. Yes. Yeah. Which, you know what? Micah Parsons is probably the best player on the team. I think so. And you're right. I never said Trayvon Diggs is a lockdown corner. I've never said that. What I have said is that he's a ball hawk. That's what he does. He goes after the ball. He's not gonna lock anybody down. That's not it. That's not his game. He didn't lock anybody down like that in Alabama. You know, so it is what it is. Our defense is a very opportunistic type defense. They're not going to just totally shut people down. They're not going to do that. Barry is out here. He says Bryson is such a Dak apologist. He fumbled, game over. Yeah, I mean Dak has some culpability in that because he didn't play well. He missed a lot of reads. He doesn't know when to get out of the pocket and evade. And I don't know if he's still thinking about the ankle injury. That's why he doesn't run. He just doesn't look comfortable when he does run. And right before he fumbled, I was like, dude, he's going to fumble that ball in the back of my mind. And maybe that's my fault. I put it into the universe and it actually happened. But anyway, I don't want to take away from Joe Burrow and Ja'Marr Chase. This team, these guys, you want to buy stock in. I was not a big Joe Burrow fan coming out of college. I thought he just had a great team he played on, but and then even this year, I was not a fan of them drafting Ja'Marr Chase. I thought they should have went Penei Sewell. They didn't. And look how this duo has flourished. I love watching these two play. I love it. And what he did yesterday, oh my God. Oh my God. And let's be real. The Chiefs defense had been playing pretty solid up until yesterday. This team, they were down 14 points. They bounced back. They roared back, end up winning the game. So this duo, the AFC North is actually, the Bengals should rule this for quite some time because the Browns, they had their little time to shine. They kind of blew that. The Steelers are going to have to rebuild a little bit. We don't know who their next quarterback is. The Ravens, maybe, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Lamar Jackson. I think he's going to be past his prime. And I know he's young, but Joe Burrow and Ja'Marr Chase, man. And honestly, Zach Taylor should get a lot more credit. You look at that division, arguably they have the best quarterback in the division. Really, Baker Mayfield might not be there. We know Ben is retiring, and Lamar Jackson is kind of he's iffy. He's iffy. He had an MVP year, and a lot of it because I thought he was just running around a lot, scored a lot of touchdowns that way. I'm not saying he sucks, but Joe Burrow is the quarterback, the best quarterback in that division right now, hands down. So buy some stock in them, and you won't be disappointed. All right, moving along. I'm selling stock on the Indianapolis Colts. Them and the Cowboys are two of the most inconsistent teams in the National Football League. You go winning, you win back-to-back games against some really good teams, and then you lose to the Raiders at home, a team in which you are superiorly way better than they are. Now, I'll give credit to the Raiders, and shout out to Derek Carr. Raider fans, Raider Nation, please shut up about Derek Carr being your problems. If anything, he is the only positive factor on your organization. And again, right before I got on, they reports that another defensive back had a DUI there, Nathan Hobbs. Derek Carr is the least of your problems. Yeah, is he sometimes he does stuff and you're like, what is he doing? But man, the guy is good. The guy is good, man. So Raider fans, you guys are lucky. It could be worse. You could have Baker Mayfield. You could have Tua. You have Derek Carr, who is a good quarterback in this league, and you can win a lot of football games with Derek Carr. But back to the Colts, so inconsistent. You're supposed to win. You got to win that game yesterday. Carson Wentz, he's a good talent, but I don't know, man. I just don't understand them. So it might be some people like thinking you're overreacting, Ryan, but listen, I'm not. This team has been up and down. Their record, it's the reason why their record is what it is. They're 8-8 now. You're as good as your record. And their record is that. They're good and they're bad. Now, they've had some bright spots. They beat the Patriots one Saturday. They bounced back and beat another good team. But you are what you are. It's like, what's the saying? You are what you eat. Guess what? You eat a lot of cheeseburgers and pizza and steaks and red meat, you're going to be fat. That's what you are. And that's what they are. So, it is what it is. Bryson says, facts, bro. DC is special and one of the most valuable quarterbacks in the league. Yeah. And you know what? I can't stand the Raiders. I live in Las Vegas. I should be supporting them. I can't stand them, but I love Derek Carr, man. I love the guy. He's always positive. He never tries to tear anybody down. He takes responsibility, but he gets a lot of crap. He gets a lot of crap. Derek Carr is kind of like, I think him and Dak Prescott are like on the same level. They're part of the reason why you lose sometimes, but they're a part of the reason why you win a lot too. You just have to accept that. So, but I'm selling stock on the Indianapolis Colts. They're just a one-trick pony, Jonathan Taylor. You slow him down or just kind of doesn't you don't get him going. Carson Wentz he's gonna give you the game for sure. But all right, so that's it for buy or sell, man. Real quick before I get up out of here, I've been 40 minutes in. You know what? You know what time it is. You guys know what time it is. It's it's clutch, not so much. First one of the year, 2022. Let's get into it. Listen, clutch. Jackson Smith Njigba, is that his name? Njigba. What? 15 receptions, 376 yards, 3 touchdowns in the Rose Bowl. I don't care what you say. The Rose Bowl is one of the best bowl games in all of bowl season. Even if it's not even a national championship, it seems like that matchup between the Pac-12 and the Big Ten always presents a good game. And even back in the day, even the last couple of years when it was part of the playoff games, we had Georgia, Oklahoma. Those were good games. If you've never been to the Rose Bowl, but you've seen it on TV, man, the grass is just so much greener. And then you got I forgot the name of the mountains back there, but the San Clemente, whatever, I don't know what mountains. I'm just making up names, but the mountains behind it, it's so picturesque, man. And back in the day when Keith Jackson used to do the games, he'd be like, "Whoa, Nale, we are live from Pasadena, California. The USC Trojans versus Michigan in the blah 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 Rose Bowl." Dude, that used to just hit, bro. But anyway, Jackson, and I think he's only a sophomore, so he'll be back junior. Maybe he'll probably leave next year. But Ohio State got listen. Oh, you know what? I totally skipped the subject. My bad. I totally missed. I got so fired up. But listen, so I already did clutch most. I did clutch not so much, a portion of it. Before I go, we got to talk about the college football championship. I'm just so jacked up today, man. The Dallas Cowboys really pissing me off. AB got me feeling some type of way. I forgot one segment. So real quick, do we expect anything less than what happened Friday? No. A lot of people were like, "Oh, Michigan should be ranked number 1 or Cincinnati should be ranked number 2." No, they shouldn't. Georgia and Alabama are the best teams in the country. And it shouldn't even be a debate. If you understand and watch football, Stevie Wonder can see that, right? And no offense, Stevie Wonder, he's blind. Not a shot at him, but he can understand that. Listen, college football, things might get interesting in the next couple of years because you've had the transfer portal rules are changing. The NIL thing is going down right now. Caleb Williams, the quarterback from Oklahoma, he's hitting the transfer portal. God knows where he's going to go. So there's a lot of things. But right now, Alabama and Georgia are the best teams in college football, hands down. And the college football playoff committee, they knew we cannot have them play in the semifinal on that Friday. It would have been a great game, but you cannot have your best game of the year be Georgia, Alabama versus Cincinnati or Michigan. That's a total letdown. Right? Total letdown. So I was not surprised at the outcomes because when you watch those teams play, between Alabama and Georgia, there's like 40 NFL guys, and I could be exaggerating, but at least 20 to 30 NFL players on those rosters, respectively. Alabama, they didn't have their best wide receiver, Mechie, and the other kid, Williams, pops up. He's legit. Their best corner goes down. Guess what? They have the number 1 JUCO cornerback comes in, replaces him, doesn't even miss a beat. Same thing with Georgia. That front 7, oh my God. Poor Michigan. Aiden Hutchinson getting all this love going into this game. Oh my God. He should be the number 1 pick. Where was he at? He's like Patrick Swayze. He was Ghost. For you younger people, Patrick Swayze, an actor, played a ghost in a movie with Whoopi Goldberg. Ghost. Where was he? Why? He got swallowed up. Not saying he's a bad player, not saying he can't play in the NFL. But listen, man, at the end of the day, I said this on my Facebook post. It does not matter what your conference record is. It does not matter what your record is overall. It's who do you play and how many guys you have on your team that are NFL caliber. That is how I judge a college football team. And right now, the SEC overall has more guys that are going to be playing in the NFL. Period. Clemson had their run, and they may get back up there again. Back in the day, USC had tons of guys going into the NFL. Now, no, not so much. They're lucky to get one or two guys, right? But the SEC is the class, and not even only the class, it's Georgia and Alabama. Because after those two, it's like, it's terrible. LSU may get back up there. Auburn had their run. Florida. I mean, it's those two. Best two programs, like I said, best two programs in college football. Can't wait for the national championship. I think we're in for another classic. Yeah, it should be another classic. And the funny thing is that this Alabama team is not even supposed to be a great Alabama team. That's what everyone was saying. And they still, I give more props to Cincinnati. They tried. They just didn't. They don't have enough weapons. Michigan just got flat out. They got dominated. But again, the athletes on the field, it tells the story, man. And in college football, it's not the NFL, man. College football, it's a big drop off. So, everyone out there, oh my God, blah, 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 blah. Alabama, Georgia, they should have been they should have played each other get out of here, dude. Who wants to see Alabama destroy Michigan in a national championship? We saw what Georgia did to Michigan. Or who wants to see Georgia destroy Cincinnati in a national championship game? We don't want to see that. The last game of the year should be your best game of the year. That's your hope as a commissioner or any type of executive committee member. That's what you want. And I think they got it right. And we don't need to expand the college football play. I know a lot of we should expand. For what? So we can get more blowouts like this? Because at the end of the day, you're basically, when you do that, you're just slowing down the inevitable. You're just slowing it out. Oh, Ohio State might have been able to challenge. Probably not. Look, Utah gave Ohio State a run for their money. And granted, a lot of Ohio State players didn't play their top guys, but still, get it through your thick heads, people. Alabama and Georgia are the two best teams in the country right now. I'm not saying it's going to be like that forever, because I said LSU might come up. USC back west, they might do some things with Lincoln Riley. Who knows? But as of right now, today, come on. No. Barry says he wants a 12 team. God, man. Please, dude, I'm watching those games on Friday. I was tapped. I was bored. I was so bored. I went to go iron my underwear and rearrange my sock drawer. That's how bad it was. And why would I want to see 12 teams? I don't want. I'm not here for that. I mean, to me, 4 is pushing it. I would not mind going back to the old original style, the BCS, because honestly, man, if this is what we're getting, it's not even worth it. And honestly, the last couple of years, it's kind of been like that, man. It just I don't know. He says Barry says, give me more playoffs, damn it. Nah, I'm good. Bryson says, agree with you, Ryan. Give Saban a month to prepare and you see what happens. Cincinnati didn't belong there. Yeah, they got in there by default. And Michigan, I mean, shout out to them. They had a great season. Their national championship was against Ohio State. And here's I want to say things about Michigan. I'm not trying to throw shade on them. It's a big accomplishment for them beating Ohio State. But after they won that game, it was kind of like, dude, y'all ain't even won the Big Ten yet. And I get that's a heated rivalry. They ain't won in a long time. But I think they acted like that was their national championship. Come on. So I don't know. It is what it is. So all right, now let me go back to what I was originally doing, the clutch or not so much. So who did I have? I had Jackson Smith-Njigba. Great game, 15 receptions, something like that, 376 yards, 3 touchdowns. That's crazy. Not so much. Cincinnati and Michigan, get out of here. Great seasons, you guys, but listen, you're not in that class. And I'm not mad at them because a lot of teams would have probably done the same thing against Alabama and Georgia. It's simple as that. It's that simple. I mean, who was ranked up there? Notre Dame was 5th. They lost to Oklahoma State after being up 28-7. Do we think Notre Dame would have been any better? Do we think Oklahoma State would have been any better? Do we think Baylor would have been any better? Or Ole Miss would have had much more success? Probably not. Probably not. So not so much for those programs. Clutch, DeMar DeRozan, back-to-back game-winning shots. What can I say, man? This is the guy that Lakers should have targeted. If I'm being frank, this is the guy we need. He's from LA. He's got game, but instead they chose their own path. They did. I don't know. Maybe he didn't want to play with LeBron, which is not surprising. A lot of people don't want to play with him, which Barry Grant Jr. will defend. But anyway, shout out to him. And finally, not so much. Again, the Cowboys, I'm selling their stock. And this performance yesterday was abysmal by their offense. They need to get their stuff together. And that's it. So cool. All right, man. One last comment before we get out of here. He says we did. They chased Brick West. Oh yeah, Brick. Oh, they chose. Yeah, they did. Yep. And I'm not even mad at Westbrook because we know what Westbrook is. It's like if you're a guy, right? You're a guy, and say you're talking to a girl, and you're talking, and say she's married or she got a man, but she's talking to you, right? And you know this about them, right? So you get with her, and you find out later on she got another side piece. Well, you can't be mad. You know why? Because you knew their character before. So you know what Russell Westbrook was or is. He's a high volume guy. He plays crazy. He's looking for that triple double. That's what he is. So guess what? This is what you got. So I'm not even mad at him for that. He's being who he is. He's being true to himself, right? He said DeRozan wanted to play with LeBron by the. Oh, did he? Oh no, he couldn't. I mean, I don't know. Was he a free agent or did he got traded right from the Spurs? Is that right? He got traded. So that's the trade we should have made. That's the one we should have got. I would have rather taken Bradley Beal over Russell Westbrook, but I'm not the GM. But yeah, we instead of getting we got a California boy, we got a local guy, but we got the wrong local guy. So, but anyway. That's it, man. I went way past the time I was supposed to go to, but hey, I was fired up today, man. Look, the Cowboys alone, the Antonio Brown story, dude, that had me going. As you can tell, I'm gonna have to post the clips on some of that for you guys. You guys missed it at the top of the show, but listen, Happy New Year to everybody, man. I like the logo down below. Let me know if you guys like the logo, man. I think it looks exactly like me. I showed my kids, and they were like, all right, that looks like you. I mean, I'm not as yoked as that the character down there, but maybe 2022 will help me get jacked like I used to be back in my former years. But we'll see. We'll wait and see. But appreciate everyone that joined the show, man. Shout out to Barry and Bryson for keeping the chat room live. And shout out to everybody else, man. If you watched the show and you were quiet, that's cool too. But make sure you hit that subscribe button, man. That's what I'm asking for. If you're quiet, that's fine. But just click that subscribe button, especially on YouTube, and we'll be good to go. So you guys can catch me next on my NFL Morning Sunday show this Sunday, Week 18. As usual, we got a lot to unpack. Get ready, you guys. Get ready for those games. Actually, I might even bump it up because we have some games on Saturday. So be on the lookout for that on my social media. I might move up my show on Saturday, and we'll have to wait and see. But other than that, enjoy the rest of your Monday. As usual, this is Clutch Sports Talk live with me, Ryan Flowers. Never settle till the work is done. I'll see you guys later. Peace.